professional men, no matter what diet or workout you're following, these two fat loss habits are wrecking your metabolism, slowing down your energy levels and keeping you stuck. And that was also the same thing that made me overweight. So in this video, I'm going to share the number one way that can help you boost your metabolism so you can finally avoid wasting your time. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm making a new video about weight loss advice every week. I use these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 13 years, and I've helped dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The number one habit that destroys your metabolism is that you're removing all the carbs and doing a shit ton of cardio in the gym. And the problem with removing all your carbs is that, let's imagine that your maintenance calories as a 30-year-old man to maintain your weight is 3,000 calories. But if you've been reading like Metabolism and also a weight loss guide that makes you want to eat 500 or 1,000 calories because they are like standardized workout and diet plan, that ruins your metabolism totally. Because let's imagine that maintenance calories are what you should eat to have a highly functioning metabolism, and then you fuck up your metabolism by eating a 500 or 1,000 calories. You are reducing the metabolism way lower than it actually should. The optimal way to lose weight is just a 300 calorie deficit, because that's easier to maintain and also maintain the hunger levels. Because if you're in a calorie deficit, you're automatically just signaling to your body that is in hunger, and it also sparks more cravings. And the more calorie deficit you are, the worse is it. And it's also very unsustainable, because if you're removing all the carbs, usually that's the first thing people like professional men who've been yo-yo dieting for decades are doing. That is, you're removing all the carbs, and carbs are essential for you to have high energy levels, also faster recovery after being working out in the gym, where you are focusing on compound movement, isolation movements, and progressive overload, where you are taxing yourself with putting a lot of, for example, stress on your nervous system. And in order to recover the muscle tissues and build bigger muscle, you also need more carbohydrates to fuel yourself, so you are able to have a good recovery, so you're able to hit the gym like the next day. But if you're removing all the carbs, you just don't have anything that can help you recover, so you're feeling sluggish, exhausted, and you're having a higher chance of binge eating, which maybe can be the reason why you've been yo-yo dieting for decades, because you are in this ongoing cycle of eating very clean, and then at night you are eating a shit ton of unhealthy food, and you're trying to hop on the same diet and routine the next day, only to find yourself in the same vicious cycle. So just having a small calorie deficit of 300 calories, and that is easier to sustain. And then you also have 5 times working out in the gym with strength training, and then 4 cardio sessions. That could be on a cross trainer, 120 heart rate, because that's enough for you to burn more calories and still have your mental focus at work when you are talking with clients, doing presentations, and trying to amp up the career opportunity to get promoted to a manager, for example. And be a more healthy weight is easier to lose weight if you are taking it slow and steady, and also having 6,000, 7,000 steps a day, because calorie deficit is easier to maintain if you are not going balls to the walls in the beginning. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description, also in the comment section, where you can apply for coaching with me, and we see if we are fit to work together. Number 2 habit that's wrecking your metabolism is that you are still eating at, let's say, 500 or 1,000 calories when your maintenance calories actually is 2,000 or 3,000 calories. So by increasing your metabolism slowly up, for example, you've been making your body eating the 500 or 1,000 calories for like several weeks, and then you are eating a shit ton of unhealthy food, that is screwing up your metabolism and also making it very confused. So what you should do after being on this weird diet, you should just eat at your maintenance calories for, let's say, 2 weeks, because the reason why is that you want to give your metabolism a break. No cardio sessions in the gym, no weight training, because you also want to give your joints and your nervous systems a break. Because if you are trying to work out all the time and put too much stress on your nervous system, that makes you feel stressed and also want to increase the, for example, the emotional eating, where you want to eat even more. So if you're feeling way stress free after being on this maintenance calories for 2 weeks, you feel more rejuvenated, you feel more free, less aches in the joints, and nervous system is feeling like normal. And by doing that, you are setting yourself up for good by, for example, lowering your calories slowly, this time with 300 calories, and also have 45% of your daily calories come from high protein diets, because the more muscles you are building through a high protein diet, the faster you're losing fat, and also you're also reducing the cravings. And just by changing up these small things, it's easier that you are eating way more food, because if you're on a weight loss diet, the best way to lose weight is actually eating a lot of food, eating the foods that you enjoy. I see a lot of the clients who have been coming to me, they've been giving up all the favorite foods, and they didn't feel unhealthy, at the heaviest weight, feeling not confident. So what I'm teaching them is that if you base 9% of the foods that you really enjoy from high quality whole foods, for example, lean chicken breast, lean ground beef, salmon, eggs, and also have a staple of whey protein in your diet, it's easier to hit the 45% of the daily calories coming from protein, and also reducing the cravings. And sometimes if you also want to change up with the carbs, of 40% of the daily calories come from carbs, you also just eat whatever carb sources that is something that you really enjoy. If you hate rice, you don't eat rice. If you hate pasta, don't eat rice. But if you love jam, for example, sweet potato jams and quinoa, you just eat that. But the main thing is that you also put in some veggies that can help you feel more full, and foods that are high in density and low in calories are the best way for you to eat as much as possible while not going overboard with calories. If you are having foods that are high in calories and high fat, like bacon and high fat meat, for example, you are, let's say you have 2000 calories to be in a calorie deficit and lose weight. But if you are eating too much bacon and high fatty food, you are not able to eat as much. So let's say you're already eating, for example, 1500 calories for the day, and it's only 2 p.m. How are you going to manage without going overboard with your calorie for the day? So I always recommend that you're eating fewer, larger meals, and that could be like 12 p.m. You're having a big shaker, 2-3 whole wheat toast with some low-fat butter, a couple slices of egg, and some tuna or salmon. And late at night you have the largest meal there, where it could be like 100 grams of whole wheat pasta, like 4 eggs, lean chicken breast on the side. And then the last meal of the day is just having Greek yogurt with some berries. That's very low in calories and high in density, because it keeps you full longer, especially when you go to bed at 10 p.m. So if you are someone who wants to become the most healthiest version of yourself and lose the weight for good as a professional man, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description, also in the comment section, where you can apply for coaching with me, and you and I will see if we are fit to work together. Bye.